Imagine there was a way you could test out guns on Graal Era without actually having to buy them in full. Something I feel like I always hear about the weapons in this game is the pricing surrounding the weapon itself. Like 200k for a bar, 120k for a Shipka, 55k for an M4. And while you can always look at the description of the weapon and see its stats, you'll never know how the gun feels until you have it. The harsh reality is there are no refunds on guns. Should there be? Well, we could talk about that another time. If you were to grind for growlets or even just buy a growlet pack and spend 120k for a Shipka because you thought it looked good, and then you find out you don't necessarily even like the gun all that much, or it wasn't what you thought it would be after buying it, well, sorry to break it to you, your money's gone. Once again, you can read stats of an item all day but never know the feeling until you have it. Well, what if there was a solution for this problem? I present to you my idea, the rent a gun concept. Essentially, what this would provide is the ability for the players of Graal Era to be able to test out guns before actually buying them. I'm going to give you a scenario. You have 55k and you want to buy an M4. Your friends are always saying how amazing the gun is, and you read the stats which back up what your friends are saying. You take that leap of faith and you buy the weapon. Well, after buying it, find out you don't feel like it's worth it. You wanted more damage, or you wanted more spread, or less freeze. And now you're sitting on the curb, sad, depressed, thinking about life, realizing that you just spent all of your growlets. Well, with the rent-a-gun concept, you not only get to test the item beforehand, but you'll also avoid wasting your money on a gun you'll end up not liking. Now, when you hear me talking about this, it sounds amazing. It sounds really cool, doesn't it? Let's talk about some more details that might nerf the idea just a little bit and kind of clear up some misconceptions. Here's how the idea on paper sounds like it could be a problem or abused. It would be unbelievably wild to see 500 plus people all with the bar outside PKing. After the fact of renting the item, people would just keep renting guns in order to base or PK. Yeah, this would be essentially a terrible idea and straight up abuse of the concept. To prevent this, the rent-a-gun could have its own level inside each gun shop. Once you enter this level, you're warped into an area to test out the gun. You could test out all the stats, and hey, maybe they could even spawn zombies or something to have target practice, who knows. This way, you can only use the gun that you're renting in a closed area away from people. Cause let's be honest, the idea of this wouldn't be to allow you to have a gun to PK for testing. The idea of this is to allow you to see how the gun works and feels. Testing out the damage, spread, freeze, reload, etc. This idea would be very, very bad if people would just be able to rent an item for free or very low money just to go PK and abuse it on others. It's strictly there to test the stats. On top of this, maybe it would be smart to have a time limit to rent it. Like you have 15 minutes to try out the PvP and then your time runs out. And also, maybe you can only use it once per day to avoid abusing the resource. And also, maybe it would cost something like 500 growlets so people can't actually abuse it. Once again, I really do feel like this would help the player base to be able to see what type of items they want to grind for and know what type of gun fits them. If I'm on a long voyage to save up for a bar and I only have 10k growlets, may as well know beforehand that I don't like it before saving up 200k. This wouldn't be something that would change the game entirely, but rather assist the player base. The amount of times I get asked, hey, Mr. Bamboo Man, which gun is better, blank or blank? Well, guess what? With the rent-a-gun concept, you could test the items yourself. And hey, sometimes when players ask these questions, I don't even know the answer. I don't have the guns. So in order to find out which gun is better, I can always use this concept to also figure out. Gosh, I am passionate about this concept because this is something I wish I had throughout my whole journey on Graal Era. Since day one up until now. There were so many guns that I bought, usually more on the cheap side, let's be honest, that I only read the stats on and said, hey, this gun looks cool. Well, at this point in time now, I have some guns in my inventory that I'll essentially never use ever again. And I mean that. If I had the ability to test these items out beforehand, you best be believing that I wouldn't have bought them in the first place. I don't know, I feel like this could be something that'd be very useful, new, and if we're being honest, pretty fun. I also want to point out that this is all just a concept. Me making this video and talking about the rent-a-gun idea doesn't mean it's going to be in the game anytime soon or at all. It's simply just a concept that gets all of the wheels in our heads turning. So, what do you think about this idea? Do you think the rent-a-gun would be useful? If not, why? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy, please do me a favor and press the like button and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all next time. Peace.